Bring it to me. Bring it to me.
And we're live.
Love it. Thank you, YouTube.
Looking like we got some audio too. Apologies.
Never wants to allow me. Never wants to allow us on here.
We're going to have to apologize for last time when our audio cut out. Went a whole hour. It really is. Rookie mistake, but we're working through them. Real quick, thank you to everyone who subscribed, liked, and shared our page. We really do appreciate it. We need y'all to keep on sharing and keep on liking. And that's how we sustain this and keep on going and doing our thing. You know what I'm saying? But we're here to try and attempt this again and get a real podcast going. We're trying to have some open conversation, some real conversation. That's why we're the fucking shit show.
And fuck you, YouTube, for trying to censor us on that. We know it was you.
Oh, I forgot that point. Yeah, YouTube was the real reason they cut our audio. Cutting us out, trying to deplatform us. It's okay. It's what they do. It's what the left leading liberal media wants you to do, if you know what I'm saying.
We don't know what we said that triggered it. But we know we activated an algorithm.
Well, we'll see if we can make it activate one more time. But we're going to work on just putting our shit out there, man. Keep coming back and keep trying to put this content on the audio wave. This is our quest for audio domination. We're going to move into that field and we're taking it over. We're coming with a fucking tidal wave of force, you know what I'm saying?
We'll officially post it on the Facebook page. Going live on all platforms that we possibly can, which is one right now because we have no idea how to go live on multiple platforms. It truly is a shit show over here. But we figure that, well, I figure that no matter what, I was going to meet up with you anyway. I'm going to meet up with you anyway, and we're going to talk some shit regardless. So, might as well fucking make it worth our while.
Yeah, it's going out all over the place.
Might as well try and get it recorded.
Yeah, but I mean, just trying to make content. Put it out, continue. We're gonna figure out all the mistakes, all the censorship hurdles we will face in this endeavor, because YouTube, they're not gonna play fair. They're coming for us, they're coming for our neck. That's what they're gonna do. We're putting out dangerous ideas out there. Dangerous, we get people thinking.
We'll start our own fucking YouTube. You better not fuck with us, man.
No, it'll be called NewTube. Straight up.
Straight up COD style. No, but seriously, it is nice to actually, with all the bashing, it is actually nice to have something like YouTube, right? To be able to reach so many people like that and have an archive of all video
and just
forever.
It's
so powerful.
Create content, yeah, and freely. I really do remember the early days of YouTube coming up, probably like 8, 9, or 10 years old, getting first computer at home. And figuring out YouTube and just finding the craziest stuff that used to be on YouTube, man.
Things you can search, and now you look at it like, man, it's a university. It's YouTube University.
Literally,
it really is. You can go on there and you can learn any single thing, man. It's all on there.
I mean, like they have shows like SciShow, Crash Course History, Simple History. They have all those, and it really just breaks them down. And people are just able to put out education so freely, and self-expression. People put out their music videos. People release the audio to their music. People narrate, people do their plays. I mean, it really is just a great platform to share, pretty much any type of media. So, my bad. But you can go ahead.
Yeah, and I mean, you're pretty. I mean, it's also how much is available on there, because it's a nonstop ever web. And for me, like, I'm a guy that, you can write it down for me. It's not going to work. I'll read it 15 times. It's still not going to work, man. But you show me one time, and, I usually got a grasp of it just that 1-2 times, and being able to have a video where someone doesn't tell you how to do something. They literally show you how to do it. You can search a problem that you're having while doing that thing.
Yeah, and you can really find anything. I mean, a good example, my water heater went up, and I was able to go on YouTube and find a video doing some basic diagnostics, some basic, troubleshooting, trying to figure out what's wrong with the thing. Was pretty much able to figure it out. I mean, it really is so great when it comes to wanting to learn something, having that video, like you said, of that person either handling it or maybe they're recording their computer screen and showing you programming. people really have really taken such awesome advantage of the platform. It really is cool
It
to
makes
see.
you want to say like you could teach a human everything they need to know about life, through YouTube. Like at least the essentials. You might not be. You're gonna have some society problems, with your conversations and everything like that, and your thought process. But I can teach you the bare essentials of it. I can teach you how to hunt. You know what I mean? I can't. Obviously, you got to go do it, but you can learn how to hunt, make water, clean water. Start a fire, whatever you need on there, man. You can look up how to teach someone how to. You know what I mean?
You can literally. There's probably a YouTube video out there explaining some of the best teaching methods on how to teach somebody.
And this.
Yeah, really. I mean,
there's a spot for everything.
There's so many channels that I'll watch myself that provide such great information. There's one dude, Chris Fixit. He does a lot of car detailing. And he also does a lot of his own car work and breaks it down. I mean, for real, a brake job looks easy as shit when you watch one of these videos, you know? I mean, until you get your hands on it, it's something different. But I mean, the level of explanation that people have gone to and have made that their work and their passion to create teaching videos, that really is cool.
And but I don't know. At the end of the day, a lot of people
you have some weird.
They don't even have to be in it for the profit, but you make profit throughout it,
Yeah.
And you hope that never really becomes the main goal.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot of channels that are just they acquire and garner a lot of or most of the attention. People like PewDiePie. There's Markiplier. Where they're great entertainment creators, and they create content that has obviously reached millions of people around the world, where they have a huge following. But you also have those on the channel, and it's weird to me that they get more of the views. I mean, it's not weird, but they definitely get way more of the views than something that's actually educational out there.
Yeah, because you're thinking that it's got to be. I mean, I don't know, because there's something about old heads when they get introduced to YouTube. I remember when the new phones came out. To all the guys down at my job, and it had YouTube on it. Man, they ended up doing research on it and seeing that people were on this for a couple hours a day. There was a couple people that were, using nothing but all this data on YouTube that they literally stopped letting people on there.
Because so much data was being used.
Literally, and so these old heads, man, they can talk all the shit they want, man. But when they see YouTube, they're like, yeah, they can get sucked in.
You can get caught into some deep, deep holes on there of some weird shit.
Whatever you want.
I mean, that's the other thing, is that there's a lot of misinformation on YouTube out there. What do you necessarily do about that? I'm not sure, because it's really tough to come out and say, hey, you shouldn't have that on YouTube, but or even on any type of platform.
But the thing is, like, you got that shit in everyday life. You can go talk to 10 people that you don't know today. Most of them, they're going to be cool people, but they're not going to have the highest of IQs on the standard basis. You know what I mean? They're going to tell you some bullshit. Most people that you meet are going to tell you some bullshit. They ain't got facts. They got thoughts and shit that they're spilling out off of shit that they heard. They ain't done their research on it.
Right.
You can't expect for some web browser to have that power either. You can't stop that. You got dumbasses, man. Like, I hate this. I used to have this thought, like, man, no one's dumb, man. Like, anybody can be taught to at least do something great, right?
Right.
But then you realize, like, there's a couple people that you've met. You're like, man, you have the capabilities to learn. It's all there. There's nothing. You don't have no disability or nothing like that. But for some reason, you're still just this. You haven't gained no knowledge over the years. You know what I mean? And it's like, what are you? I don't even understand people like that. Some people regress, from high school. They get worse because they stop even learning anything.
Yeah, well, the one great thing about phones is that we have so much information at our fingertips, but at the same time, there's so much misinformation at our fingertips as well. I saw some type of article or some study a while back, and I believe it was up to 50 to 60%, baby boomers in that generation, up to 50 to 60% of them were likely to share a fake news article on their Facebook's
They
And,
do not know.
Yeah, and I feel
we're
like
way more adept.
Yeah, and we're
that,
getting
for sure.
We're getting like that's where where that last generation where they're able to sort through the BS and what's
where somebody
real,
can't call you up and tell you they want to sell you a timeshare.
Yeah, exactly.
We're done with that.
I mean, they don't even go as far as to check other sites. Like before I believe anything at face value, I Google it and I will look, and if I can't find 1 to 2 or even 3, where it's like. Or it starts looking, iffy. You know what I'm saying?
You
when
need
you find bullshit, exactly. You can't find it.
When you search it, it's going to pop up with multiple things. There's so much shit on the internet, you're going to see it 10 times.
Exactly. Or you'll find, those 5 or 6 articles that'll be like, well, we've seen that, and it is bullshit. Like, don't believe that. I mean, but, we can get into conspiracy if you want, say that, like, that's what they want you to think.
It's always that. It's always that. So that way you never know if that's what they want you to think or if that's what you should be thinking or if someone told you to think that.
Yeah. So
you're always in a clusterfuck.
So I just think about it to myself and I'm like, all right, that's what I'm going to believe and go off of based off the information I presented in front of me. That's where I'm going to go. I mean, it's just how I feel about it at this point.
I'll tell you, now that you got some percentages going, I got some facts in my head going. I'll tell you a crazy one I learned, bro.
Yeah.
From 2014 to 2017, China exported, well, let's say America imported 80% of their earth minerals all around from China. 80% of all the ones we used to build.
Right.
80,
manufacture
80% from China. Who is the largest manufacturer?
Well, I mean, it makes sense.
Of earth metals.
They're the largest manufacturer in a lot of things.
It's scary to know they got that much power, though. Like, you really want to.
One thing. That's what their economy thrives off of. Is that manufacturing?
Trade war? You really want to do this trade war? Because these guys are taking essentials. They ain't taxing teddy bears.
They just had something where they were covering the what they call China's nuclear option. Is where they sell off and stop buying, U.S. Treasury bonds and whatnot.
I've seen that, exactly.
Because, I mean, that's... like,
and basically try to collect on their debt.
Yeah, and that's nuclear because... well, not collect on the debt, but those, it's tough for them to do that because, these investments that they're doing, they're good investments, That's, if you're an accountant, you're not going to sit and be like, stay away from good investments.
Right.
It's such a huge part of their economy. I mean, it really is just the nuclear option. They're gonna take a huge fucking hit if they do something like that.
Well, they're also talking about keeping tech away.
Yeah.
They're gonna cut the tech off, which I don't know exactly what that is. I don't know how much we outsource from them. I'm sure it's a fucking shitload though.
I could see it happen. I mean, because what is going on with Huawei right now. I mean, where that's getting cut out of the American market.
The thing is, right, that it's easy for him to do Mexico. Mexico doesn't have much power. He can be the bully on them.
Yeah.
But China has a lot of resources to use against us.
Yeah. I mean, I feel as though it's always in our favor, though. I mean,
you've said the biggest. You keep saying
because,
that,
bro,
it bothers me so much. You just have it in your head.
No.
America
it's the information.
Cannot be beaten.
No, it's just the information I've kind of seen. I mean. I just don't understand how you contend with the world's biggest economy. I mean, it's just...
how you contend? It's the same way you contend when we invaded Vietnam. It's the same way you contend when we invaded the Middle East. These people are willing to die for what they believe in. So if they see a threat, no matter what it be, if America's going to be at the forefront of this next thing, they're already attacking that with that same type of mindset of, I will die for this cause, man. They have a different type of work ethic, man. Like when you have that type of control and you can say, I'll kill you, bro. If you're a scientist and you don't want to work a 16-hour shift, I'll kill you and get one in here that will. It's not like that. When you're not evil in those aspects, that's how evil always is able to keep it on a 50% with good. That's how they're always able to do that because they're willing to go lower. You're always going to say that you want to do all this to get the job done, but you're not willing to put that same pressure on your people. Like, I think that's where it comes into where China can go, you don't even know who's working on this shit, bro.
They can definitely, they'll definitely do what America won't, They'll definitely go where, they have, I think it's like the 996 or something. No, it's the 666 program, whatever, some shit.
Never heard of it.
Well, I mean, I forgot what it's called, the thing for it, but and it's becoming a thing it is a thing in Chinese, tech companies right now, to where you work from, I believe it's like 6 to 9, 6 days a week, and that's the mandatory schedule. And when it comes to things like that, that's where they will kind of surpass technology wise and be able to keep moving forward in that aspect.
And that's what I'm saying.
Same thing with the social credit system, and I feel you when it comes to when you look at it like that, you're looking at a country that's willing to do
Whatever
everything extra
it
exactly
is.
to win.
That's how
but
places like North Korea
But
stay
also
in attack.
think you have a very stereotypical view on these kind of mentalities of which they'll die for anything.
But it's not a choice, It's not a choice.
Oh,
when
I feel
someone's
you, I
over
feel
top
you.
of you saying you're die for anything, you go, yeah, well, I'll die for anything. Yeah. I just want another day.
I don't think it translates to military power, or even them taking it that step to where they'll be like, hey, we'll fight you. Where it's like, any war between the U.S. and China is kind of like the end all be all, I believe, of the world. If that ever happens, I think shit's gonna be done. It's gonna just
And of course, our budget spending, is that's always going to help when you're willing to spend more. That works in everything. You know what I mean?
When you're willing to spend that budget,
when you're willing to spend way more, that definitely helps. So they're always going to have that. But at the end of the day, like the aspect that you have in your mind of like they can't be beaten at the forefront of anything. Like I think that's wrong because like I was saying, I think that we have this big budget because we're trying so many things. We're trying to be at the forefront of air. We're trying to be at the forefront of sea. We're trying to be at the forefront of space. All these things where there's these individual countries who go, no, we're just going to be at the forefront of this.
But this is where our alliances come in. With NATO, around the world. We have such a huge presence around the world.
We don't have alliances. We don't have alliances.
Look. But if it ever came to
that bully that got a bunch of friends, it's because you don't want to be bullied.
Well, see,
that's what that is. Right there, buddy.
Like I said, I remember we had this conversation last time when our audio, when YouTube censored us, we weren't always in that position. There was a long period of time where we expressed some form of isolationism. I might have messed that one up.
Close enough.
But anyway, where we didn't want to meddle in the world's affairs. We didn't want to meddle in World War I or even World War II. It only came down to it when we had to, come and do something. Like I said, around World War I, we tried to let them be and tried to work it out amongst themselves. World War II happened. So then I feel like at that moment, we were then shoved to the forefront on the global stage. Europe is in ruins after World War II. Who's standing strong still? America. Japan, they were recovering from 2 atom bombs.
We've done a lot since then.
We've
done a lot since then. And all I'm saying is, and yes, in those aspects, we're going to have our allies, right? Because we're in favor. But the moment, I'm telling you, everybody should read The Prince, man. Everybody should read The Prince. It's the moment that your allies realize you're no longer in control, you no longer have the power. You know what I mean? That then they're going to flip to who has the power. They know America's packing that heat like you always talk about. We got all that fucking money and we're spending it well. We got a lot of shit. And they know that.
I won't say we're spending it well.
But if it ever, they're buying shit. Let's just say that. They are buying shit. They're inventing new shit. They're buying new shit. But these countries know, at the moment that it goes where China has the upper hand, it all needs to be a 60-40. That's all it needs to be. That's all we got. We got 60-40. And if it ever flips 60-40 China, so will them allies. I truly believe that.
But if you don't have money to feed your people.
Exactly. And that's what I was just about to say. You're not going to leave America if you're a country that can't support itself, right? But when you're something like
China is not a developed country technically.
All right, let's go. Let's
technically
say like
third world, I believe. I don't want to say third world now. I think it's a developing nation.
Let's establish that we're not. We've said it many times. We're not experts on anything. You know what I mean? That's why it's the shit show. But if I had to guess, I would think that countries like France, I think especially right now with Trump as president, if he started some shit, you know what I mean? And then he's like, all our allies, let's go. I don't see them being like, let's go, America. I think they're going to be like, hold up, America. You know what I mean? I don't think they're riding with us that.
But I think they'll ride with us before they ever, ride with Russia and China. You know what I mean? Because that's kind of what you got going on.
I ain't going to talk much about Russia. I think Russia can be beat. I really do. But China.
Because, Russia.
Chinese.
They're both very. Economy's one. China's one of the quickest growing economies in the world currently. But I just don't see it happening when you look at the amount of money the fucking U.S. makes. I just don't see it. I mean, if I don't ever see it reaching that point to where it boils over, but you gotta keep with China. They're still walking on the fine line. I mean, they got that social credit system. They have those crazy long work hours. There's cheap manufacturing jobs in certain provinces of
They're
China.
always gonna have that.
Well, I mean, unless
and not give a fuck about intellectual property neither.
No, they will never do that. But I mean, I think the people would hopefully rise up. I mean, it's tough to say.
Right.
We've seen it happen before. But
did you see the thing that Elizabeth Warren was talking about with devaluing the currency?
Not necessarily the currency manipulation.
Not necessarily in that aspect. From what I understand, basically, she was saying that we need to adapt the money, the way that I guess the tax or I don't know exactly, the purchase tax. I have no idea, to be honest with you, the exacts. But that we need to adapt our imports and exports to reflect our currency value more correctly. And then people were saying from that aspect that would lower America's dollar substantially. But we could increase, I guess we would increase imports and exports, but we would lower our dollar. So I don't know how that works out or what the money is on that.
Shit,
Yeah, we need someone in there like that. Who wants to go on this goddamn show and talk some I want somebody that knows that shit. That could be like, tell me right now. Like, I don't know. I don't even know if there's people like that.
See, I would love to meet like someone in like their fourth year of
Oh,
economics.
that'd be
something
great,
like so like it's still like kind of fresh, but they still don't know everything. They're just like I feel like they'd be able to give a more layman explanation to it, rather than some type of expert to come in and be like, this is the stocks and bonds and blah 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 blah. I like layman. Give me layman's terms, please.
Yeah, I think it's hard to do though. That's why you do go to school for that shit. You know, like when people want like astrophysics for dummies.
Yeah,
it ain't for dummies. That's simple as that.
That's 8 years of school and you gotta go through
or something,
which a lot of people will contest. That's a lot of it's bullshit.
I don't always believe the 8 years of school. Like I don't like if I had to go off like let's just say I wasn't changing the school system at all. Like I just had to make one small adjustment. Like you could definitely get rid of 12th grade, but that's nothing. That's just a bullshit grade to me, honestly. At that point, the 11th grade, I feel like I was still definitely gaining knowledge, even though it wasn't as much. I was gaining bits, so I could argue that it would only be that one grade, but we can at least minimize that,
right? But
how much money would that save if we just cut out 12th grade? So there's no more 12th grade. We just cut out an entire year of schooling across the entire America. Give that money directly to the teachers.
I mean, I like it. I'm not sure how the economics work out.
Hearing that shit.
How it works out, man.
It's not that easy. It don't work like that.
I just don't know if it's that easy.
Who's the one that fucked it this bad? Because he was coming up with that. Whoever that was, or whatever group that was, they was coming up with some dumbass shit, and people weren't telling them. I don't think it's that easy. They were like, "Yeah, it's that easy. That easy to fuck it up. So if it's that easy to fuck it up, it's that easy to fix it. You just really need to get to the bottom of shit. The whole process takes too long." Of America. It's bullshit, man. It takes too goddamn long to get things done. That's just, it's ancient. It's ancient. I'm so tired of just how long it takes for anything to grow in there's years that things sit in litigation, even like court cases. Speed that shit up too. Nobody should be
a lot of the time parties, people do that, like that's a part, like that's not just like, a lot of times it can be the court system, but a lot of the times that's people on the other end, on the receiving end, just jamming your shit up.
Exactly.
Just that. We're just taking. They're not even taking the time.
That shit, man. And I don't want to hear that. It's not that easy. No, it is that easy. We're not going to allow it. We put a rule on it. You know what I mean?
This is where we draw the line, I guess.
Listen, we can invent an entire new fucking occupation that just determines if a company has the right to go to another year of litigation or whatever. Maybe you should be able to contest anything. I'm not saying that anybody should win something. Man, you can't contest it. You should be able to contest it. But when it comes to the fact of like, you're like, all right, we contest it.
There are appeals, but
right. So you can
get jammed up.
You can exactly like
jam that shit up.
Done, man. Let's get shit done, man. There has to be a way that we can get shit done. And if there's not, then we have to figure out a different way to do things. I got an idea. Drop it on me, baby.
Take a slice of that military budget that you love taking slices out of, and put a little bit of money into investing and making sure people are comfortable, make them some judges, make them some judges, and get some more judges and employ more people. I mean, there's so much of that money's jammed up in that goddamn military budget.
Do you generally believe that people don't want to learn? Do you believe that? Do you? Let's say, I'm a guy that likes the number. What do you believe the number is of percentages of people that are just straight up do not want to work? You can give them whatever opportunity they want to learn to work. They're not going to do it. They're just that person.
Well, I mean, I don't think people don't want to learn, but I do think people are, lazy. And,
what's the percentage?
I'm thinking like
of America. Just give me America.
I'm gonna throw out like I'll probably throw out like 2 out of 10.
2 out of 10, about 20%. I was gonna go about 15.
Around there,
something like that. But I feel for the most part, people want to learn.
Yeah, I mean, but you have to also nurture that want and that thirst to learn. I mean, once people get older and learn, and well, not learn, but lose that want to learn new things and get out there. I mean, once you get older, I think it becomes like a lost cause.
Do you think we could do a thing? Okay, well, if we eliminated that 12th grade, right? How about we turn that into like, that's your first year of working towards something. You know what I mean? Something towards your passion. So let's just say you want to be a goddamn carpenter. Let's say that 12th grade was your first year of an apprenticeship or something like that. Can we set something like that up? Like, you got to find people's passions, right? You got to strike their passions. That's the problem. Like, I feel like that with myself. Like, I feel like if I love a lot of things. If I just could have focused on one thing when I was young, I'm sure I would have been great at it. But for me, it was always like next thing. You never loved something. You couldn't do it again. Something along the aspect of that came in at one.
I think so a lot of that, we just need to create that pathway and experiment with shit. I mean, there's no other way to figure out if shit is going to work or not until we actually try and implement something on a small scale and eventually, ramp it up. I mean, I know you want it to happen quickly, but we also need to be sure it's an efficient system before we go, bury money into something like that. But yeah, I mean, from that, I think all throughout high school, as you're gaining that, I think throughout that whole time, at least every Friday or something like that, like kind of like what Cristo Ray does around here, where you go and work in a profession you're interested in or something you're interested in. They go and get you a job and you go and find. I'm not sure how much the percentage of students that participate in that or what grades that they're in.
Even if for a day, right?
Exactly. Even for a day to learn. I mean, just like you really have to nurture that want to learn or it really won't manifest in any sort of way. Like I said, once people lose it, they're just not going to, I don't think they're going to go back to that. So once you get up into that, I mean, of course, not all people. But once you get up into like, 30s or 40s, I feel like people get stuck in their ways.
Oh, for sure. And they're also just so scared. Like I think about people at my job. Like I feel like they're just so scared to try something new, especially once you got like children, and you're good at something, right? People like when they're good at things. Like they don't want to, like people don't understand, like you got to be good at other things. They find it like, okay, this works for me. I can do this 40 hours a week. I make an okay amount of money. It's not a bad job. It's kind of respectable, whatever. And they're just like, okay, that's good enough, and they just never go towards anything else. Like, that's so scary, man. It's so scary to be basic and average. And I don't even mean that on like, oh, I'm scared to like just live a simple life or nothing like that. But like the fact of like that people just settle like, all right, I'm gonna go on my 1 or 2 vacations a year and that's gonna be it, and then I'm gonna work 48 weeks a year or whatever it is. That ain't right math, but you get what I'm saying. Like I'm gonna work every other. You're spending most of your time working. Like we talked about it before. Like you start a business, like your goal should not be. It's just like with drug dealing, honestly. Your goal should not be to be the biggest kingpin in the world. It should be you make a certain amount and you get the fuck out. It'd be the same exact thing with a business. You make X amount of dollars that you think you need. You buy that house, whatever, that RV, whatever you wanted, that fucking acres, and you live your life there and you stop fucking working, man. You don't fucking keep working all your life. Like even if you're successful, like think about like Dave Chappelle. Right? Say fuck it, man. Say fuck it. I'm just gonna go chill up in Africa, fucking 40 mil.
He has that fucking bankroll, you know what I'm saying?
But he
that fucking bankroll.
But he reached that X amount of dollar. You know what I mean? That he said, I can just say, I don't want to do that. And go do it. Most people would just keep working, go, all right, that 40 mil, fuck it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like that.
Man. I mean, I think that's also like a cultural thing in America, where people not sure how this newer generation is being raised or what their parents or teachers them or how they're coming up. I mean, but I mean, I feel like everyone was kind of taught the same core principles. You go to school, you get good grades, you go to a college, and you get a job, you get a wife, and you settle down and you buy a house. People. That's kind of like what people view success as, and that's kind of what they want to strive towards. And
yeah, what the fuck is that, dude?
yeah,
It's
just culturally ingrained. So like people when they get these
hate it.
jobs, they're just like people take pride in certain things and want to do that job just like that. I mean, there's a lot of people who have good jobs like that and they work, but they don't take those vacation days.
Yeah, that's even more weird. Man.
I'm the type of person where it's like I come first no matter what. My mental health, my health, whatever it comes down to, I will always put myself first before I put any company or any job or anything related to where it's like I'm not going to work 60 hours a week if it means, making that 6-figure check I'm looking for, or like work 80 hours a week in some fucking accounting office, some busy ass accounting office and just putting that time away and never wanting to go away because I'm scared someone's else to go fuck something up and be worried about work.
But a lot of those people also escape through work, right? Like they don't want to go home. I got a lot of guys like that at my job.
Now you're digging deep.
Yeah. Like I know, like
I'm
like, man, they don't really have, like a social life. They don't really have things that they do or like places to be life. And stuff like that.
That's what it is.
And then they would rather work, and then I make some more money, which I understand. Some people have kids and shit like that, so you gotta grind like that, which is how you should be. But you should always, like you said, but you gotta put yourself first. Like, first of all, there's people like that also. Probably said first of all a few times there. And so third of all,
cool. I say,
there's people that are like that, right? There's people that do want to work like that and don't care. We all got people like that at work, but there's also people that do it and they always aspire to be something else. That's why I love asking people, like, what did you want to be when you were a kid? Because people forget, man. You forget what you wanted to be. Like you settle into it because those type of thoughts are uncomfortable, right? Because when you think about, oh, what did I want to be? I wanted to be that, but you don't even bring that up no more. That's a scary thought to you. You know what I mean? You don't even want to talk about that no more because you'd rather just say, what I got now is good. I got a lawn. You know what I mean? Like I got a nice thing. You want to be that person.
House,
You're trying to put on this persona of like, yeah, I did it. I'm good. I spend money. I got the nice car. I got everything, and really you never even did what you wanted to do, man. And you're going to die without doing it.
Yeah. And people, will be like, oh, I'm just using this job so I can finance, everything that I want to do when I get off of work. That's what this job's for. But then they get caught up so much in the work. They come home, they're tired. They don't even want to pick up what they were working on or what they want to work on because they're just tired. They're just ready to get home, relax. They've been working. They've been thinking all day. Not even of what they want to do.
Yeah.
They're just thinking about, they're using all their brain, everything. They're exhausted by the time you get home.
And it is like that, but you have to battle through that. And I heard that thing. I'm not exactly sure. I don't want to give nobody credit. I think it was Goggins. I'm not sure though, where he was saying, like it might have even been Joe for all I know, but he was saying like, you're willing to go give 8 hours to that job every day. No matter what, you got to be willing to give 8 hours to yourself, to your own dreams, your own goals on you. It's not fun. It's not good, it's not. And I'm fucking being a hypocrite right now, but I know what's right to do. I'm trying to work towards it, but I still do the same exact thing. You still have those lazy ass days. You settle into that routine. Yeah. But the thing is, like, how I hit you up every once in a while, you snap out of it every once in a while. You go, what the fuck is this?
Exactly.
It's mainly on them damn Mondays, ain't it? And it's like, cause you're like, what the fuck? What the fuck, man?
That's what gets my head sometimes though. Cause like, like this past weekend I had kind of like a funk, I kind of hit one myself and I come out of them, always do. You feel shitty about yourself. You think about it. I get over it. I move on, whether it be, in 2 days or 3, whatever. There's some times where people, they don't get over that, or that's just how they feel all the fucking time. And I just think it's crazy because I have no idea how that feels or to experience something like that, but like to where you're trapped in that kind of mind.
And that is a thing nowadays, right? Is that and it kind of came up out of nowhere, which is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like depression and anxiety, and that comes. I was just talking.
It's natural.
I was just talking to Chaz about this, and I was saying like, there's times where I feel that I'm like if I really want to go off the definition, I live with extreme anxiety, man. You know how my mind works, overthinking like that all the time. That's anxiety right there, But to me,
grade A anxiety.
People say, "Oh, that's a curse." Like to me, that's a gift. I'm prepared, man. I think about the 10 different ways that something can happen, 5 different ways out, 3 different ways it shouldn't happen, and 1 way, that's impossible. You think about it all, and you're prepared for it, and that comes. But and some people don't have that. Some people don't have that ability to turn it toward that. And if you can't even snap out of that and just go live your life, at least, not even use it as a positive, but at least just get out of that and go live your life, then it will become a negative. And that's when people go, well, I got depression, I got anxiety. Like, well, the thing is, you don't got that. You're causing that. And the thing, I'm sorry, I just want to clear it up because people are going to say shit, like, oh, well, that is a real thing. And that is a real thing. People do have that to an extreme measure, right? And that's everywhere in the world. Yeah. You're not going to snap everybody out of that. Right. You're not going to fix suicide or nothing like that. But a lot of people are soaking in their own sorrow. You know what I mean? And they're causing that own depression on the inside. If they just went out and did more things that they thought about doing or wanted to do, man, I think that a lot of people would snap out.
That's what leads me to my next question is what percentage of people do you think, don't actively work to bettering their situation regarding mental health and depression and whatnot? What percentage of the population are you thinking around?
Dude, I mean, what?
Of those individuals,
I think it's high. You know what I mean? It's high. But I wanted to go above that is like people don't even know how to. People don't even know, man, because if you don't have someone like me or you, right, that goes and asks you something, like, oh, you've been there for 8 years. Oh, well, are you moving up? You don't, those questions of like what you've been up to, where you've been at, really getting to the bottom of shit and really making you think about what you've been doing and what you are doing. Other people will just help you settle right in, right next to them on the love seat,
just be like, oh, yeah, I've been there too. Come on and sit down and kind of talk with me.
Hard work week. Hard work week. Like, I fucking
Do you just want to chill?
That, bro.
You just want to sit back and chill?
I hate that, bro.
Yeah, I'll sit back and chill.
Man.
Yeah, and, that brings me to to surrounding yourself with people who, are like-minded or, you shouldn't go towards people that make you feel comfortable. You shouldn't go towards people where they're like, in a certain sense, of course, you want someone you can talk to, but like,
I got you.
You don't want to be around someone that makes you feel comfortable every single time you guys talk, where it's like you kind of give an opinion and it's like, oh yeah, man, yeah, I feel you. I've been there. Yeah, fuck that. This or that. Rather than someone just being like, hold up, bro. I think you were wrong in that situation.
Exactly, right?
No, a lot of people don't have that, man.
And that's so, because like I think about like people that I know like that are like, oh yeah, they argue with their friend, they argue with their boy like over some money, or over who's gonna pay for the pizza or whatever it is.
That wasn't your boy.
And then I go like, man, when arguing with you, man, it's over, are we the farthest we've ever been in technology, or not? Like shit like that. It's a different kind of argument. You know what I mean? And those kind of arguments that are good, and you see people, we've talked about how many friends, that just fade away into existence because you keep that pressure on them. They don't like it, man.
Yeah, they don't like that around. They don't like that going on. They don't want that uncomfortableness, it's like you need someone who's going to, take you and kind of just like point out your flaws and kind of just put it right in front of your face,
There's people who have friends who literally hit women.
Yeah.
Who hit women. And they're just like, that's my friend. He don't hit her in front of me. There's some people that let you hit her in front of you. You know what I mean? But don't say shit, man. Or like people that, first of all, I can tell you right now, if you're a deadbeat dad, get the fuck away from my circle, bro. Yeah. I don't care what you got. You can roll all the grass you want. You can fucking you can pay for the whole bar tab. You can be the illest, livest, you know what I mean?
You can be the Jamie we're looking for.
I don't give a fuck what you are, bro. I don't want to be around you if you don't take care of your kids, dog. You're not in my circle. I don't keep people. If you turning your back on your kid, bro, you think I'm gonna believe you got my back? Fuck no. Yeah. You ain't got my back, man. You ain't even got your own child's back, man. Fuck that. I can't fuck with nobody like that. And I'm gonna bring it up to any motherfucker in my circle that is like that. You know what I mean? Where's your kid? When's the last time you seen him? I'll be doing anything. How big are you? Exactly. You know what I mean? And motherfuckers don't want to hear that. They just want to meet up, drink some drinks. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
smoke some blunts, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, anybody. I mean, there's people who have, friends in their circle who, go on record or have gone to jail for that shit. Come home, same thing. Let's chill back, drink a 40. And it's just like, no, we're good over here. Nah, you straight, bro. Like, I mean, it's like, it's crazy amongst, males. There's kind of a acceptance upon it, where you just kind of like write it off, There's a lot of people who just write the shit off, just because it's their boy, their man's, or whatever, I really don't understand.
It's not the same exact thing, but something like it is like Chris Brown, right?
Yeah.
Beat the shit out of Rihanna.
Yeah.
Like, do you still listen to his music? For me, I never liked Chris Brown, honestly, on really anything. It kind of was like never a thing for me, but I definitely avoid him now. Like, that's one that really bothers me. You know what I mean? I'm to the point where I wouldn't even watch like the Cosbys. Like, I just don't even want to be thinking about that on certain things, but there's certain things I can get over too.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's like, what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but like when you're beating girls up and shit like that, like, I don't even want to support your profits.
That's the hypocrisy I was talking about was, it's also accepted that, you never hit a woman, amongst majority males, and if they ever saw that, and a lot of people, they saw what?
I wouldn't agree with you, bro. I'd say it's like 50%, man.
Like 50% of,
bro, when you get in those circles and you really talk like deep to random people, maybe not the people that we talk to in the daily
bad circles,
when you really
talk
stay out of circles, there's people that literally are like, well, if she does this, you know what I mean? Then
you're right. You're right about that.
Nobody should spit on me. There's always something that somebody can find where they'll be like, if she did that, she shouldn't do that. There's a lot of people that are like, oh, if my girl's fighting, I'll hit her.
Yeah,
like even situations like that. Like,
so you thinking? So you think it's like 5 out of 10 right there?
It's like 50%.
Yeah, around
I
there.
really do. I think
it would edge a little more in favor.
Maybe
of
a
people,
little bit.
I would say more like
bit.
60-40.
Maybe
if I'm looking at it,
but it's a lot.
I see at least a majority of men, would be totally against that. So the same thing you see when rape is mentioned amongst a bunch of men. And there's like, well, the first thing comes out their fucking mouth is, well, women lie about rape too. And it's like what the
hell
fuck
is that?
What are you like? Let's just stop that right then and there.
You really went to the most extreme thing that barely ever happens. You know what I mean?
You ever seen
percentile?
You ever seen those memes where it's like, not my job? Just like you just sidestep that so fucking quick. What was that? What? Why is there not that to address?
Here's a hard one. Here's a hard one that I want to drop on men. Right? It's like, all right. Well, think about this. Whenever you want to say like a woman's lying, like think about if a man was lying. Like if there was a man that came forward and said, "This dude fucked me in my ass," that you know what I mean. And he said it. Would you go, "That dude's lying"? Do you think anybody wants to be the person that got raped, that got molested? Nobody wants to be that person. Yes, there is that one out of whatever. You know what I mean? That high person that'll just go, "I'll lie."
And
you know what I mean?
I guarantee every male watches right now or listen to this is going to be like, well, see, they didn't even say the whatever out of 10 of women lie. They're just like, they didn't even say that. They didn't even bring it up. You just
what percentage of women lie? Like,
I mean, so many go underreported.
Out of all the women,
I mean, come on, it's like let's talk about that before we even get there.
Think about how many literally it is. Even the ones that are lying about it, there probably was another person that did some shit. That's literally how high the statistics are.
Yeah.
There probably was something else. Maybe
or them themselves did something,
Yeah, exactly.
I've talked amongst some people and some men, and I've, brought it up, girl's drunk as shit. And you're taking her home, whatever, and she really can't consent. She's just drunk out of her fucking mind. You have sex with her. And I'm just like, is it rape? And they're just like, well, she put herself in that situation, so no. I'm just like, well, what?
First of all,
you literally have a severely altered, state, of incapacitated human who probably couldn't fucking walk straight. I mean, come on.
If you're attracted to that,
bro,
something's fucked up.
That happens a lot, man.
Fucked up.
That happens a lot,
bro. I'm not even getting hard over a bitch that ain't moving. What the fuck? You can stare or something like that.
I mean, of course, not us. But I've talked to people and they've said no, it's not rape. I'm just like, you have a human that's not even conscious right now. If you ask them,
how do you even get all? She's not even making no sound.
She couldn't even make her way home. Nothing. She's out of it.
Making sounds.
Exactly,
What the fuck?
Exactly,
bro. Something's wrong here.
And I'm sure a lot of women wake up the next day and just be like, No, you got sexually assaulted. Yeah, I mean that's just how it goes. I mean,
Yeah.
of course, that's not all cases. Not all cases.
But when we do talk about women lying, that's the one where I would say it's the highest. Is a lot of women
know.
A lot. Not I wouldn't even say don't know.
No, yeah,
I wouldn't even say don't know. I'm just saying whatever the highest percentile is that they do lie about in that category, I would say that that's it. I think a lot of women maybe don't have the details exactly, or have them mixed up, or regret it. You know what I mean? Or it became something that they didn't think it was. Maybe. I think that even whatever that is still extremely low.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's mainly what we just talked about. But if there's anywhere, like I think that spots, because
what's the percentage? What's the percentage?
I say the percentage. The percent.
That's what they're wanting to know.
If I had to go like out of 100 cases, God, this is bad.
Yeah,
this is no good for me.
But I mean, like off the top of my head, from what I understand, what I've read, I believe it's less than 10%.
I was about to go like 3 or 4.
I believe it was
like, because everybody knows that one girl though that is just like, who the hell is that? Just like it can be that one dude, it can be that one girl. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's just like,
who are you?
That bitch would definitely frame something. You know what I mean? You can see a guy that's like, that guy will steal from your house.
She's scheming.
You know what I mean? She's scheming. She's going to finesse, and it's been proven before. It ain't like it's fucking a myth.
Yeah,
people have been
it's
caught
happened.
lying
It's happened
plenty
exactly.
of times. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, like, point being, you don't bring that up when you know,
that is
to all men.
where
You don't bring that up.
That is not where your mind
about,
should be going. You know what I mean? It should first be distraught.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Of what the fuck?
It's like, damn, we gotta do better.
Yeah, especially with like certain people, you're just like, what the hell, man? Like, you would have never thought, but that's the people that it is. It's how it goes.
Yeah, but people are always like, not him. It's like they know him. You don't know that celebrity, or whatever. You don't know them on a personal goddamn level. To just sit there and be like, oh, Harvey Weinstein would never do that. He makes great movies.
Not Harvey.
Like,
you look at Harvey.
How would you
like,
say
guilty.
that exactly?
You say guilty.
But I mean, you get the point. It's just no. We can't go there. We gotta do better as a human society, as men all around. We gotta do better.
That's what you can look at somebody. You can look at some guys and you go, yeah, you would definitely fuck.
He looks a little rapey. He looks a little.
Rapey. But then there's also that category of people who won't do the raping, but they won't say something if their boy does something like that. You know what I mean? So there's that.
Yeah.
A lot of people just letting it slide. Fuck you, Brock Turner.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Fuck a big Brock Turner.
Can we never forget?
Square up, Brock Turner. I want you at 155, bitch.
You're not banned from fighting.
I'll burn you in the swimming pool too, bitch. What's up? See me.
You can't do that.
I'm down his bitch ass.
So that's just a quick PSA. Fuck Brock Turner.
God.
Can we just keep circulating that story just so, I feel like the sentence wasn't severe enough. This kid, man, you got to go to jail for more than 6 months, and you can't get let off easy for that.
Yeah.
And
the problem is, it's like, what do? Even me saying that is like,
and I think
obviously you can't.
I won't say. I believe 100% that race plays roles into that. I feel like race plays roles into these verdicts. It is tough because a lot of cases of young, black men, they get pushed to the news front.
Sure.
That's what you see majority of. That's what you can see exactly.
The doc I told you about. But with that, it's like,
it plays such a huge role.
He got off on things like as far as punishment, but he's convicted, and it's like, God, man. Obviously, we can't go around punching everybody in the face. How you like to imagine the world being like. But fuck, you especially it's like, and then they say like justices serve, like someone does like 10 years in prison. You're like, but you're still that dude who liked kids, bro.
Yeah. Well, that's different than like petty theft or some shit,
Anything. You're still that dude who raped that girl.
Oh yeah. Well, if you're talking about,
I'm talking about the bad ones.
You know what I mean?
Those don't go away. Like with Brock Turner, like
I think that'll go away. I think that'll get expunged. I don't think.
Not with us here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hopefully we don't get.
Because I'm not, to be completely honest, I'm not even sure exactly what he was, convicted. He was convicted. He went to jail, so that's on his name.
His
I believe
punishment
is
what people were mad about. I believe he got convicted.
Well, he only got 6 months, and then I think he was let out in 3 or 2.5, something like that.
Some shit like that. Yeah,
it's ridiculous
when you have it proven that.
And then there was
he did this.
And then there was the one football player who, he was jammed up for 2 years coming out of high school. Very big prospect. I forgot his name, Oakley, I think, or something like that. Something like that.
Yeah, from Oregon.
And he was,
and that was a proven one.
And he was put up for 2 years, and it came out that it wasn't real. He was about to get 22.
That's one of the highest ones ever.
Yeah,
that's one of the biggest ones ever.
Everything's derailed from that moment, man. It's
horrific,
terrible.
But once again, that's the small percentile. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's the 1 out of 50, 100, whatever it is. That's hard to put a number on.
Yeah,
you know what it is.
And I'm not saying whenever that comes up, go and take this story. No, don't do that. That's a small percentage.
Yeah, exactly. You can name like any of them. Like, you can go on and on of how many have been busted and how many are going to come forward. And that's the worst part, is that sometimes just like a well-kept secret.
So it's cool, because this will kind of like lead into like kind of like the next thing I kind of want to bring up. I don't think we ever got a chance to really go a little more in depth to the social credit system of China and their the surveillance of their people, and where they have cameras everywhere on that shit. And especially with this like credit system. So some shit I learned recently was that China has, they have control. Well, they don't have control, but they can, kind of peer into, the two types of way that pay is, processed in China. So I think there's Alipay, and then there's something else like Check Union or something. Another Chinese company.
Yeah, they mainly use the phone.
They have, yeah, exactly. They have control pretty much over both of them. So what I found out today was that, like jaywalking, you get caught and charged and fined in real time. There were people, they were walking across the street, jaywalking.
Just catch you.
Their photos, facial recognition, they would then fine you out of your account. Just immediately.
At that point,
no consent.
Trusting your AI 100%,
no consent,
though.
They're taking it out. For facial recognition, yeah.
But you're saying that's not going to make no mistakes.
Well, the cameras are there to take pictures. I mean, yeah,
And that's what you're saying. If you're doing it in real time.
Also, I want to understand. I don't understand the technology behind their facial recognition system and all that. So I don't know how advanced it is, but it's been implemented, I think, since 2014. So it's only gotten better. I mean, deep learning.
Other countries,
it learns and gets better. Yeah. I mean, like, it's just crazy just to think that, like, you jaywalk, you get a fine right from your goddamn account. Like, it's so fucking.
That's all to the next level. But
it's China.
But when it comes to the internet, Steve, they may be onto something. I talked to you about this before.
Yeah, there were some people saying
there has to
makes
be
them better.
There has to be a point. Obviously, they're censoring way too much. They're
going a little crazy.
There. But there has to be a point where we're gonna have to draw the line, bro. It's going to get too powerful.
So that's a lot of the backlash that comes with smart cities, that people want to build and develop fully smart cities. A lot of it gets backlash because of the privacy concerns behind it all. You get people moving into smart cities, and you got everything monitoring, everything interconnected.
Hey, can't even smoke no weed in peace.
I don't know the depths of it, but privacy is a huge concern as far as having everything being linked pretty much to the municipality or whatever, or the government or whatever. I mean, you're in your home and the fucking doorbell was tied into the whole government system, cameras everywhere, microphones everywhere. It's all easily connectable and tied in. It just, and then the handling of all that data, all that processing of that data,
right.
To where, that's another thing.
You do think though that they're going to, the future. Well, that's the thing, is we're not going to teach our kids to give up all their data, right? Because that's something that we learn.
It doesn't come up amongst the majority of the population.
Well, we're bringing it up. I'm talking about else, man.
Yeah,
we can't talk about everybody. We're talking about us right here.
Yeah.
We're going to bring it up because that's something that we learned. We obviously didn't know what we were doing when we released all this data to Facebook Messenger and so on and so on. But we learned that. And you're going to teach your kid, like, be careful what you sign up for. We were taught it, but not to this extreme. They manipulated it to the next level.
Exactly. I mean, I feel like it's already gotten pretty dug in at this point. Just because social media platforms came onto the scene relatively early in the days of computers, when computers started really getting into every home. Let's say 2006, 7, 8, when home PCs were really a thing. Everyone had a home PC. Everyone had, some type of laptop. Smartphones were coming out. You start signing up for all these programs. I mean, you start signing up for Facebook. No kid's gonna read that shit. And I wasn't taught, and nor do I think the newer generation was taught to take that sacredly and take that really seriously for the for your privacy and what you're signing up for and giving permission to. I think that's only going to diminish more over time.
At this point, though, they kind of, and as we go farther on, it's probably only going to get worse, but they kind of control us. They control us more and more because it's not no longer just when you signed up for MySpace or Facebook. It's, let's say you want to download an app from Play Store.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably, the same.
Well, even to use it, they have so many permissions you have to give up to even use the app.
Right, exactly. On everything. No matter what you want to use.
It'll be any game,
you sign up for Xbox Live and you give shit up.
Yeah.
Like some way or one or another, they're going to get your data, And that's the hardest part is like when I think about how crazy this is all going to get. And you want to go, take my children and my peoples that I love, and we just run, we get those acres to the middle of the forest or whatever the fuck it is. And we build from there and you just cut it all off, right? But then you're like, am I right? Does your child think you're right? Your kid could grow up and go, that's what I want to be out there.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't want to plenty of people, but then you go, you don't understand, man.
Plenty of people go out and I mean, that's how if you want to create a business, if you want to sell your art, if you want to do something, you got to be out on the grid. You got to be on these social media platforms, promoting and doing your thing to reach the majority of the population. I don't think it's easy nowadays to do things in isolation without participating in these types of platforms. Small businesses in smaller towns, close up because people are moving back to these huge cities. And yeah, you can open up some shop, in the town, but if your social media game isn't strong, you're not gonna. I hate to say that, but
no, it's sad.
Just like with this
our
show,
shitty
just like with this show,
game.
we're gonna have to, participate in this type of platform, and this is what it costs to participate in these types of platforms. You gotta give up. Yeah, there's some give and take to be had for us to have this type of voice on this platform, whether it be our data, whatever else getting mentioned, being monetized, and them running ads over our shit and just making money off us or whatever.
This is the time we're trying to write the handbook right now. We're trying to go, what can you say?
They're trying to write the handbook.
Us too, bro. The smart minds are, man. I knew that the average person, they don't want to think about things like this.
For Google.
People don't want to think about stuff like this, but little things like this are what's going to control the future of your kids, of society. It's going to determine how your kids grow up. You have to contemplate these things. And if you believe in the voting system, especially because you have to be aware of what's coming, you're going to have to make individual votes, not just I vote for a president that says this. You have to vote for an individual thing. If you really want to do that, if that's how you target your goals, you have to figure this shit out. And this is a big thing that's coming. Like, what can you really say? Like, I can joke around here all day and say shit, right? Like if I say like, when I see Steve, I'm gonna fuck him up. You know what I mean? Like, are you gonna? And it's just me joking with somebody else, like one of our other boys, and I'm just joking with that. I see Steve, I'm gonna fuck him up, but I say it online. Like now, are you gonna sit there and take that to the extreme and say, oh, he's trying to find Steve and fuck him up, and now he's threatening violence like that? Like it has to be a point where it's like you understand what is just talk and what a threat is.
But I mean, in the same vein, the I would say with the lobbying on that, with the laws being written, I say the big companies are writing it because that is what they're doing. This is their domain. We're in Google or Apple's domain, and we're using their systems, their phones. I mean, they've already taken so much control and dug into the market so deeply, to where they and their lobbyists and who they put forth and the things that they fund for these new privacy laws and what they can and cannot do. If you think they're taking a back seat to that and won't have a play in it, good fucking luck with that. I mean, they're going to be at the table at any time.
But here's the thing, right? It's too many fucking people that are activating these things, right? So they can't do it manpower wise. It has to be by AI. AI cannot determine. First of all, it's hard to determine emotion. I say first of all, but 100 times, 100 of all. You can't it's hard for when you just send a message to determine the emotion behind it. So to think that a robot can do that right now, it's not possible. And it's going to be a while. That's going to be one of the last things that come for sure. So when they're determining AI of what's real, what's not, did this person mean that, does this person not? AI is not the person for that job. A person is. And when You can't do it by person. You have too many people. Now we have a problem. You can't just keep allowing that to go. That's why I'm saying there has to be some line we draw because you can't do it. You cannot censor all of it. Like, say if just let's say eventually. Sorry, to cut you off, but let's say eventually we just got so powerful. I could develop an AI, right? That could simultaneously, it works all night and it makes 1,000 YouTube accounts and 1,000 email addresses, whatever it is. And I uploaded 1,000 beheading videos. Right. Do you think by 9 o'clock the next day, all of them are gone? You know what I mean? I think that something slides in it's because it's just so much.
Well, yeah, I mean, like the New Zealand Christchurch shooting, I believe that video was up and online, and you could find it for up to 24 hours or 48 hours after the original event because of how many people downloaded it and re-uploaded it all over the internet. 6 hours after it happened, I was able to find it that morning. I watched the video, and it was probably one of the worst things I could have done that morning was watch that damn video.
Stick with you.
But yeah, they will not all be gone because people proactively continue to download them and upload them. I mean, there's people fighting against that system just to keep putting the content out there, and eventually they get to a point where the algorithm or the deep learning system learns more and more and more as they keep posting. Time goes on, and then they're able to block it immediately.
And then you got even past that. There's people that have videos that never upload them.
Oh yeah,
and it's just it's still getting shared. You know what I mean? I might have, like, say I was there and I recorded a video. I would just send it to you. I wouldn't wait till I see you, and you know what I mean. I'd be like, bro, here it is. You know what I mean? Like, this is you're not gonna believe this. You know what I mean? Like, I think that gets spread. I think that gets spread between a group off the line.
I mean, like people in the world today still circulate child pornography on the internet. There's websites.
And of course, shout out to Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, shout out to Ashton Kutcher real quick. Something positive about all this.
You don't know how true all this shit is, but from what I see, he's the only guy.
I'm gonna invest in you, Ashton Kutcher. We'll just wait to have a little bit of cash. Right?
Ashton, if you ever want to come on the cast, you're more than welcome.
We would love it anyway.
But the only person I really know that's developing software and shit like that to really corral.
But I mean, there is the dark web. People actively, there was, Silk Road is one of the most insane stories of the internet. I think you would ever possibly fucking hear. You could order hits. You could order hits on that website. You can order drugs and they could get shipped to you.
Yeah.
And that's how Bitcoin and all those digital currencies originated, because you need some way to exchange money but not leave a trace, and that's what that shit does. You can't spend it anywhere, but you can turn it into cash in some places, but it's very tough to find. We're talking dark web shit right now, man. But yeah,
I believe they closed down Silk Road.
Yeah, that guy dude was convicted and it was shut down. But there are still people out there who are continuing to do these services in the dark web. Just as people, and we learn to and figure out how to take these things down, they learn to put up new ones with new safeguards. They get better as we get better. They only continue to make answers to our solutions and problems to our solutions. Exactly. Because that's what they're working towards. They're always a step behind. We're always a step behind because we're trying to figure out what they're doing and remove it and take it down, and then convict and track them people.
So sick. It's so fascinating with kids. Where do you go on the internet and search it?
Bro.
What the fuck, bro?
So that was a big problem with all the Chan websites, whether it be 4chan or 8chan or whatever. There's a lot of Chans, 11chan, all that shit. There's many Chans, and that was kind of like the most public, boards that you could, find some of these people. I remember I frequented, 4chan early on, when I was a little younger. And the stories and the shit that you see and hear about, there's people on there that are against that shit and work towards taking it down. And then there's people who are, worried about circulating this shit and, finding it. And a lot of those Chans got taken down for child pornography because that's where they were circulating it. It was just kind of like the early message boards or image boards that, they used to communicate. And we're able to, set up behind, different various,
was that kind of the same thing with Tumblr? Because it seemed
Tumblr's just.
I heard Tumblr had some child porn on there and shit. Like, just young girls would upload shit on there.
Yeah,
Pics,
that's I don't know about that, I mean, that would definitely be tough to take down or even have an algorithm, for,
matter
especially
what-
early on.
No
Especially
matter
early
what,
on.
you can make it so simple, right? Like
But,
I can make anything. I can message anyone randomly and say anything.
There was that one YouTube creator. I forgot his name. His name was like Austin or something. He would make these acapella videos where like he would have like 9 different videos playing of him doing different beats. It would make a full song.
I
He would sing
remember
over it.
those.
And he got convicted, I think, for like 6 to 12 years or something like that because he was soliciting young subscribers, for twerk videos. And there was a video of him asking.
14-year-olds.
There was a video of him